Hey everybody, what is going on today? Welcome to the channel. We just had the feature premiere for gameplay here for MLB The Show 23. There's a lot of changes to cover. We're going to go over them for you. I'm going to talk about it, tell you what you can expect from it. But first, you guys, do me a favor. As always, make sure to smash that like button for me. Subscribe down there to the channel, man. Subscribe. There are tons of changes. I'm going to have you covered for it. We'll also have you covered for getting through everything in the game the fastest way, earning all those stubs, getting all those cards, no money spent. So you guys make sure to subscribe here and make sure you got those notifications on so you always know when we're live here. Most days 10 a.m. Central. Tomorrow for the tech test at 12 noon Central Time. That's when it goes live, and I'll get you guys covered. Let's go ahead and hop into this right now because there's tons of stuff to talk about. One of the big things they've made changes to, like I said, is fielding. They've added lots of different fielding animations. One of the big cool things this year is your jump to the ball. All right, when you get your jump to the ball going after fly balls, it's going to be imperative now that you take a good jump and a good route to getting to the ball and getting it relayed into the field. Because if you don't, it's going to affect your outcome everywhere around the field. It's going to affect how you get the ball in for your throws. If you take a different angle, you might still get to the ball. It might not be the best route possible, but if your back's turned and you have to make a throw all the way back and turn across the field, it's going to really affect how you actually are playing the game and how you're allowing runners on base and everything. So that's an imperative thing. You want to get good jumps to the ball. It's been affected way more than ever before in this year's game. With fielding, they've also added new fielding animations. All right, hundreds of new fielding animations. You're going to be able to go and get into foul territory and make some of these plays against the wall a little bit easier here this year. They're also going to have plays where the first baseman's going to stretch and dig balls out of the dirt at first base, as opposed to just catching them and it looks like they just got it before, how it always was. Third baseman's going to take hot shots right there to the glove. It's going to get them in on the hands a little bit, in up on the chest a little bit, in on the belly, and they're going to be able to make those plays. But hundreds of new gameplay animations is a really cool thing. One of the key things that you want to focus on this year also is that fielding attribute. All right, these non-throwing errors are going to be affected by the fielding attribute. It's not something that you necessarily can control a lot of times. All right, it's going to be affected just solely by that fielding attribute. So you want to make sure that you've got fielders with that high fielding attributes, because start the transition and the jumps, that's also going to be caused by the fielding attribute as well, as far as how quickly they get to the ball and how quickly they move around. Now, the throw accuracy meter has been changed and updated this year also. A big change to the throw accuracy meter. They said they thought that it was a little bit too easy, it was pretty easy. It was always, you could time it at the same spot, put it right in the green, make a good throw. Now that sweet spot scale, which was in the green and is controlled by your accuracy, your throwing accuracy, now it was too easy. Now they're making it actually move. They're going to move the green and yellow depending on where you go to field the ball in the field. As far as if you're shortstop and you're going to the hole, one hit between the third baseman and the shortstop, it's going to move that meter in that sweet spot a little bit further over to the sides. So you want to make sure that you're paying more close attention on each individual play during games, because that's going to be imperative to your success and your success rate on throws and not making errors a lot. So they'll show you a couple of quick examples here real quick. So as this ball's hit here, put in play, he goes into the hole to make it just like I mentioned, and you saw that meter move over to the right side. It's not in the center anymore, so it's going to be a little bit harder of a throw to make throughout the process and everything, but that's where you're going to be covered, and that's a big change. And I think it's going to actually increase the difficulty for some at first. I'm sure we'll get used to it as it goes, but you got to be paying close attention throughout the whole process while you're playing, and every ball that's hit, it's got to keep your head more in the game, in all honesty, because that meter's not always going to be the same spot that you're used to it being. Now, touching on some of those forced throws to first base that we were just showing, where the first baseman's going to dig some of those out of the dirt and have to go and actually make a stretch or play for it or something like that. The fielding attribute is going to control the successful digs at first base depending on the first baseman's fielding. All right, so that attribute number for your first baseman is finally going to matter. All right, when you have like Frank Thomas out there, you might be in a little bit of trouble because his fielding is pretty low. He's not going to dig a lot of balls out of the dirt. So you're going to want to focus on high fielding attribute first baseman more than you ever have in the past. And I think that's a big change that needed to be made here to the game. All right, you guys, there's also some new quirks added this year. We've got 4 new quirks added to the game. We've got pickoff artist, table setter, break outlier, and bad ball hitter. All right, pickoff artist is going to increase the success rate of pickoffs while you're playing in online games, offline games, any of that stuff. So that's a great one to have for you. Table setter is another one. Performs better when there are no runners on base. All right, when there are runners on base. When runners are on base, not no runners, but when runners are on base, your pitcher or your hitter perform a little better. Your break outlier is actually going to cause your pitcher to lose less break on like their sliders or off-speed pitches when they're tired. So as far as that, when your pitcher pitches in the first, second, or third inning, they would have better break than they would in the 7th 7th, 8th, or 9th. Now that's no longer a thing, which is good. That shouldn't be the case. They should probably just lose a little velo off of the pitches, but that'll be great, keeping the same amount of break. And then bad ball hitter is another one, man. This is going to be great. The hitter's going to excel at hitting those bad pitches in the dirt. Somebody like a Vlad Guerrero Sr. has always been known for things like that. So that's a great attribute addition. And the best thing about these new quirks that have been added is they got rid of the old quirks. They got rid of some of the old quirks. All the passive ones that actually did nothing and just explained what your attributes on are goodbye. They're gone, man. Get rid of those things. They were unnecessary anyway. They literally were like idiot lights in a car telling you when your engine, your check engine light comes on. It's just telling you that you need to go take it in. This is kind of like what they were, man. They didn't really do anything. They just affected and told people what attributes did in kind of a picture basis, all right? So here's what we're getting. We're getting just active live quirks. These are great. Here's an example of DJ LeMahieu's card, and these will stack on top of each other as well. So that's really cool. If some of them affect the same things, you can use them on that same card for multiple situations. There's also been a couple of changes to attributes and how attributes are affected, all right? Your clutch is now going to be way more important as far as for pitching and for hitting, all right? Your hits per 9 is going to be replaced by pitcher clutch in certain situations, all right? When you've got runners on base, that's when it's going to be more affected by the pitcher clutch, all right? Your contact is going to be replaced by your hitting clutch when you've got runners on base as well. So before your hits per 9 and your contact were imperative to the size of your PCI, and it would make it easier to get base hits and all that. Now your clutch is going to completely override that, and that's going to be the big thing that you're going to have to pay the most attention to here, and it's going to be a very important attribute going forward here in 23. Some of the things we've also seen is some of the on-screen displays have changed here. When you push your buttons on the D-pad, you'll pop up these little menus and stuff in the quick menu, and these are new things that you'll be able to see. You'll be able to see all of their most important attributes that you're really working with. As far as for the pitcher, you've got your walks per 9, your hits per 9, your K per 9, and your stamina. For the hitter, you've got contact, power, vision, and speed based on, of course, from the side of the handedness of the pitcher that you're facing at that time. It also will display here the quirks below it as well as the cards on there too. You'll also be able to pull up and check out StatCast in the middle of the game right here and actually see if you're chasing pitches, 2-strike chases, swings, contact, whiffs, hard hit balls, all of that. And we'll get to take a better look at this during the tech test here once it starts tomorrow, which I'll be live streaming here at 12 noon Central Time here live on the channel. But we'll be getting a better feel for this and how it actually looks and how it plays out and how we can use this to our advantage once we get our hands on it tomorrow. Another big change has been made to the swing analysis here in MLB The Show 23. All right, if you don't know, your swing analysis is actually your feedback in the bottom left corner of the screen. All right, and if you know in the past it wouldn't always pop up in the middle of a hit, you'd have to wait till after you hit it to find out what it was. Now, the moment you swing, the moment you make contact with the ball, it's going to pop up there and it's going to give you your entire swing analysis breakdown, all right, which might make it a little bit more in real time and intact, because before, I always kind of complain we didn't have dedicated servers. The servers we were playing online, the feedback isn't always as accurate. I think this is a big step forward in making the feedback more accurate and more relevant for games while we're playing. Now let's talk about some of the things you can see down here in the bottom. We're going to explain them all to you here real quick. You've got your player Mitch Haniger up right here. It's got his clutch number up there, which we know is more important now when runners are in scoring position or on base. You've got your power number, your vision number. Those are great. It's going to show you, of course, your feedback in your zones, your green, yellow, red, whether you're on time, late, or early on a pitch right there. And then your PCI. There's a little bit of a change to the PCI if you notice. That big yellow blobby circle in the middle is gone now. It's going to be just pretty much identified by a bullseye right in the center, all right? And then at the bottom of the screen down here, you're going to have 3 things that are imperative to all of your hits, all right? What type of contact, your grade on your contact is going to be down there. This was a good contact one. EV is going to be exit velocity. That's 96 miles per hour on this one. Your launch angle at 32 degrees. This was likely hit to the wall or a home run. He got under it a little bit. You can tell it's just below the ball right there with the PCI. So he got under the ball, causing a little bit more lift on it. That's going to affect your launch angle. So all of these things should help to feed into a little bit better of a hitting style and hitting feedback for us overall. We do still have the 3 styles of gameplay that we had in previous years. There's going to be casual, simulation, and competitive. If you guys don't know, competitive is the default that you'll be playing on whenever you're playing in any type of Diamond Dynasty mode. It doesn't matter if you're offline, online, any of that. Competitive is going to be the game style for Diamond Dynasty. If you're in the other types of game modes in the game, you're not in Diamond Dynasty, you're playing franchise, road to the show, storylines, anything like that, it looks like you can go and use the casual simulation. You can do those. It doesn't matter. You can switch back and forth in the middle of the game if you want to, or go back to your main menu and switch. But user input reigns supreme on the competitive competitive mode. It's going to be the thing that you affect the gameplay the most as you, as the user, controlling how you're actually playing. One of the big changes that they announced they made to hitting here in 23 is plate vision. Plate vision has been completely revamped. Apparently now you have 50% less plate vision than you had in years past. Now, that might scare a few people right at first, but don't be scared by it, because it's actually a really good thing. What it's going to cause and what's going to happen as a result of it is you're going to get more swings and misses, less foul balls, which are great things because we've had far too many foul balls and not enough swings and misses here over the past years. If you look at it, here's the difference between casual and competitive gameplay and what will happen on them right here. But you can tell how you're out in front of the ball or how you're a little bit behind or underneath the ball right here. Swings and misses are going to be more frequent. If you're a good pitcher in MLB The Show 23, you're going to be rewarded more. It's going to be telling to show who's good pitchers and who's just good hitters sometimes, and who has the all-around style of gameplay to be able to beat people, which we'll find out more, of course, in that tech test starting tomorrow as well. So a little recap on it here right now. We've gone over updated fielding, new fielding animations, updated hitting, a little bit of updated PCI. The swing analysis has all changed. All of those things, now rule changes. Everybody wants to know about some of the rule changes. All right. So let's talk about these real quick here. One of the big rule changes is the shift. The shift is gone, kind of gone, not really gone, maybe gone. It's just been changed a little bit. All right. You can't shift. Both players have to remain on their side of the field and on the infield dirt. They can't be on the grass anymore. So your shortstop and third baseman will have to maintain and be, excuse me, I bumped the mic there, will have to be on that left-hand side of the field. The second baseman and first baseman will have to be on that right side of the field. So kind of playing in that rover position. If you guys know of that position from when you played Little League ball or something back in the day. But, they're going to have to, it's going to change and affect the game quite a bit. Now, some of the other rule changes have not been placed into effect. We know we have the pitch clock in Major League Baseball this year. There's already kind of a pitch clock of 6 seconds in MLB The Show. If you don't throw the pitch, it's going to force throw it for you. That's one that's already there. So there's no changes to that. As far as the pickoffs, in Major League Baseball now, you can only throw over, I believe, 3 times or 2 times before it's a balk and you can't go over for a pickoff anymore. That's not a change in MLB The Show. So they did not make that change. But the big one, and I know the one that you guys all want to know about, did they make the change? DH. And they did. All right. The universal designated hitter is in Diamond Dynasty in MLB The Show 23. You're going to have your chance to use a designated hitter. No longer will the pitcher be batting in MLB The Show. That is really cool right here. You'll have a designated hitter right there on your screen and in your lineup at all times in Diamond Dynasty. So pretty cool stuff. Also, the two-way player is fully integrated into the game now. If you've got Shohei Ohtani, you can put him as a DH, you can put him as a pitcher, you can put him as a left fielder, center fielder, right fielder, anywhere you want, as long as they've got those secondary positions on them. So that's really cool and a great addition that we needed desperately here in MLB The Show 23. One of the other big changes has been made to co-op gameplay. Everybody asked for it. Now we have ranked co-op, which is going to be really cool. I can't wait to play this with you guys here this year. You can actually go through the ranks and make it to World Series with your 2-person and 3-person squads. All right, you're going to be able to earn rewards from it this year. So co-op gets a whole complete revamp and now rewards and has its own path here, making it to World Series. SDS will go more into the depths of Diamond Dynasty and the things that have changed here in the upcoming weeks. We're going to have a specific Diamond Dynasty stream. They usually do that like the week of launch. Week before, so we're probably going to get that a little bit later on. But really good stuff already, man. They have done a lot to this game this year. I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are as well. I think we've got a lot of cool things coming down the pipeline. Don't forget the tech test starts tomorrow, you guys. We'll be playing it, like I said, live here on the channel. 12 noon Central Time. Right here, you can catch me. You guys make sure that you check it out yourselves. It is free for everybody to download. It'll be in your respective stores, Nintendo, Sony PlayStation Store, or the Xbox Store there for you to download. You can pre-download it, I believe, in at least Nintendo and Xbox at the time I'm recording this. It should be available to pre-download this evening here for Sony and for PlayStation Store as well. But pretty cool, man. I can't wait to get our hands on it and see all the changes. You guys join me tomorrow. We're going to have some fun. We're going to find out more about this game, and I'm going to keep you guys updated throughout the weeks as they do more of these feature premieres, so don't worry about that. But y'all do me a favor, as always, make sure to smash that like button for me. Subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe. It's the best time of the year. It's MLB The Show time, right? We're ready for launch. Everybody can't have it get here soon enough, all right? I can't wait. Let's get our hands on it tomorrow, and I'll see you guys for the stream. Thanks, everybody. Peace.